What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Paul's Best Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk everything the best. My guest today is the best. I love this dude. Got to know him through his amazing foundation, which we'll talk about later. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
Super Bowl champion, Willie Colon, dude.
My brother.
Thank you so much,
man.
dude.
Respect.
Dude, I mean, it's not every day you get to talk. You won the Super Bowl. You won the Super Bowl after my Giants won the Super Bowl. The year after? Giants won Super Bowl 42. You won Super Bowl 43?
Yeah, we won 43. Yep.
So, we were the helmet catch in 42 because they called it
David
Catch
Tyree,
42.
Right? Yeah.
David Tyree.
Yep, mm-hmm.
And then you guys were the next year against the Cardinals.
Cardinals, yep, in Tampa. Yep.
In Tampa, and you know what? I actually thought, not that I knew that there was time because I was in Pittsburgh. I'll tell you a cool story about when I was in Pittsburgh performing and a blizzard was coming and audience members were like, "You're not going home tomorrow." And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "There's a blizzard. We got a ticket for you. We got a ticket for you."
Yeah.
And I just went with three dudes that were in the crowd, and I just went and we just sat, and it was snowing, and Roethlisberger went down. And kind of like the Super Bowl, and went down against it was against the Packers, and it was snowing, and he went down, almost like this dude. It was.
What year was this?
I want to say.
I probably was in that game.
I think you might have played in that game.
Did it end with Mike Wallace touchdown?
It ended with a touchdown.
Yeah, I was in that game.
Oh yeah, you know what game I'm talking about. I was on stage in Pittsburgh, and they're like, "You're not going home." I'm like, "No, I'm going home." They're like, "If you drove," because I drove. It was only 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, they're like, "You're not going home. We got a ticket." And sure enough, I'm sitting there watching, and it was snowing, and they were beating you guys, and you guys went down, and
it was
similar.
a shootout between Rodgers and Roethlisberger.
It was a shootout.
Yeah.
It was a great game to go to. I'll never forget the game, but. When Larry Fitzgerald got the touchdown against you guys in the Super Bowl, that was towards the end.
Correct.
And I was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be interesting."
Yeah. You know, people ask me about, because obviously it was up to the offense to go down and score. And what's so funny about the drive was so interesting that so I just came back from Pittsburgh. I just came back from training camp, and I was doing some stuff with the Steelers, and I was fortunate enough to kind of sit around some of my old teammates like Ike Taylor and Max Starks, who I played with. And we were at a bar. Did you know Arnold Palmer's from Latrobe, Pennsylvania?
No.
Yeah, Arnold Palmer's the great golfers from Latrobe. Anyway, so there's this Italian bar called the Nunzio's at the airport, which is named after Arnold Palmer. It's like Arnold Palmer Airport.
Okay.
And it's a little Italian restaurant called the Nunzio's, and it's tucked in the damn airport. So that was kind of our hideout. And on the screen was our Super Bowl, the one we won. And so we were eating and watching it, kind of talking about it, and it's funny to hear everybody's perspective of what they were thinking when Larry Fitzgerald scored that last touchdown. For Ike, he was guarding Larry Fitzgerald, right?
Okay.
So he was the corner that kind of led up the big play. And when you see it, like you see Troy Polamalu chasing Larry, and you see James Harrison chasing Larry Fitzgerald, and then you see Larry Fitzgerald go across the goal line, and he's open. The place is going crazy. All the Cardinal fans are going nuts, and it's so funny. From my perspective, I'm sitting on the bench. As soon as we saw Troy not be able to catch him, we just picked up our helmets and started walking. Because Troy is one of the fastest guys on the team.
Yeah.
Ike is one of the fastest guys on the team. So if our fastest guys couldn't get him, we just knew it was up to us to go down and score. And we were on the sideline, man, and Ben's talking to us. We're talking to each other as a line. Mike Tomlin's talking to us. And we get on the field. And we have a penalty right away. we have two back-to-back penalties.
You started that drive with two penalties?
Yep. We had, I think it was like a holding call and something else happens, and then we started the march. And so it's just interesting how it finished. Obviously, people know Santonio.
What yard did you start? What yard did you start?
I think we were on it.
Was it 20?
I think we were on 20-25, and we had two 5-yard penalties. I think.
Okay,
I could be wrong with
you
that.
had to go down like 85 yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was interesting to show you how God works, man. If we didn't get those penalties and scored, we would have left more time on the clock for the Cardinals to go down and beat us.
Oh, so they would have had a chance.
Yes, so they really would have had a chance, and so we scored enough.
That shit's meant, man.
Yeah, so we scored in a fashion where they got the ball back, and if you go back to the film, you hear Mike Tomlin say, "Hey, man, he's really trying to talk life back into this defense because they just in their mind they just led up the Super Bowl because they let Larry Fitzgerald score.
Yeah.
So he had to get these guys revved up to like, hey, man." It's not over. You still got to go back out here and get a stop.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough, Lamar Willie off the edge, sack, fumble, Steelers win.
How much time did you start that drive with? Do you remember?
I don't. I'd be lying. I think it was like it may have been.
It was under 2 minutes or no?
I think it was under 2.
Under 2.
Yeah, because we had a couple big chunks after that. Yeah, Santonio. I think Heath had a big catch, and then Santonio again. It was all Santonio Holmes drive.
I totally forgot about Troy Polamalu, which is the crazy thing to say, because you know what my comparison to Troy Polamalu is? This may be crazy to you. Troy Polamalu to me is like Tim Duncan, one of the all-time greats, but a quiet, unassuming, like Tim Duncan's one of the best power forwards
of all time.
But there's something like you don't really. He's just a quiet assassin.
Yeah, and the 31 flavors, he's vanilla.
Yeah,
it tastes good. Yeah. It's great, but it's just vanilla.
And he'll do everything, and he'll turn around off the glass. Troy Polamalu did everything. As in that position, he did He was an animal, a quiet guy, right?
Well, the thing about Troy, and it's so funny because he was in training camp with me, and so I got to spend a lot of time with him, man, and really kind of just pick his mind and his philosophy and how he thought.
Yeah.
A lot of his instinctive plays, he was prepared for a lot of it. I think a lot of people have this assumption that he was just kind of this majestic, free-flowing dragon.
Like, how did he know how to be? Yeah.
He really had a philosophy and a mindset of, he really understood defense, where he needed to be. And he had Ryan Clark, who was able to kind of cover him from, kind of play a free safety, a true free safety, and kind of let Troy play in the box and move around as he wanted. But Troy was just, one, instinctive, 2, knew where he had to be, and he understood defenses, and he understood leverage. And so a lot of them plays, yes, they were great plays, but there was a method and science behind a lot of it. So
I think maybe I say the Tim Duncan comparison because of how he talked after in the press conference. He wasn't really like a.
He was humble.
He showed a lot of humility, and he didn't talk a lot of shit at all, right?
See, Troy was fiery. Troy did talk some smash.
But to you guys, or even else.
It depends if I don't think he. I think he would tell you the guys around him talked a lot of junk. But if you came after him, he would have some words for you. But he was. I think a lot of Troy's game was just keeping Troy under control because he played with so much passion and so much fight. So I think he was always trying to be present and always trying to show humility and just be the best Steeler he could be for the Steelers.
And he was the fastest on the team.
One of the fastest, yeah. Not the fastest. I think Ike Taylor was definitely the fastest by far.
Okay, and who was on the other side of Holmes, a wide receiver?
So our receiving core consisted that year of Nate Washington, Lyman Sweet, Hines Ward.
Oh, Hines Ward was right.
Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, and our running backs were Willie Parker and Weldon Moore, who had a monster year for us. It was huge. We don't win a lot of games without Weldon Moore. We call him the Creeper. That was his nickname. And we had Gary Russell, who was our other running back.
Okay. And you weren't on the team when they lost to the Packers?
I was on that team. I was hurt. Against Dallas.
You didn't play it?
I didn't play it. I was hurt. I got in Dallas, Steelers versus Packers. I was hurt for that game. I was on IR.
What year was that?
2010, 2011.
Okay, so you guys, all right.
Yeah, we had a good 10, 15-year run where we were we won in 05, won in 08, should have won.
Yeah,
the one in 2010. So.
And as a New York Football Giants fan, which I am big.
Yeah, I grew up a Giants fan.
There's never been hate with the Giants Steelers because it's the same family.
Because it's a blue blood.
And one of the daughters was on late night. I think I want to say it wasn't Rooney Mara, it was Kate Mara.
Correct.
Kate Mara was on. I think it was Fallon, and he was like, "What do you do if the Steelers and Giants fans?" She goes, "Our family wins." She goes, "Our family can't lose." She's like, "If one of them's
nobody wins when one the family,
because I found out that the old man, the Duke was Wellington Mara,
correct,
and the chief
was Rooney,
and they actually they went to TV and goes, "This is going to play for television." They're the reason the NFL. Isn't that crazy that there were 6 teams, but Mara and Rooney really kind of drove all of this shit that we see every Sunday like a religion. They did
question.
It. And it's amazing.
Their foundation was always family first, and the thing about the Steelers, which I think a large part of how I view my time there. And I think why we were as a team, so selfless, because we really brought into that mantra. We were just really extremely selfless. It wasn't a challenge we wasn't willing to accept. There wasn't anything we wasn't willing to do for each other. And we were all extremely fortunate. And you can ask any of my teammates that social media wasn't around. Because we did it all. We partied hard, we played harder. You know what I mean? And I was telling somebody, I saw one of the old security guards from way back then when I was there. He was like, he was saying, I think he worked for the Pittsburgh PD. He was like, man, we really miss you guys and how you guys responded, how you guys treated the city. I was like, no, we were really in debt to you guys because you allowed us to blow off steam and protect us when we left the bars, right? There was nothing it was nothing for a cop to be like, hey, man, you look a little banged up. You want me to get you to your car, or you want me to take you home? Or you see a local who's just in there taking picklebacks with you, saying, hey, you know, hey, this is, you know, I don't want you to get in trouble, Willie. Let me, I got a spot. You want to crash on my couch? Like, those are conversations we were having with locals. So I only give back was being able to kick ass on Sunday. You know what I mean? And we won so we can go party, right? Yeah. But if we lost, we didn't go out. That was the rule too. Like, if you lost, you took your ass home. You soaked with your family. You had like, I had a rule in my house. If we win, we gonna burn this bitch up. We gonna drink. We gonna party. We gonna get weird. Like, we gonna shut it down. If we lose, we're ordering. Everybody's gonna go home, order pizza. Nobody's allowed out. So my family. And this is why a lot of time, you know, the night before the game, I stayed in the hotel because my family treated their time in Pittsburgh like Mardi Gras. Like, in their minds, we're getting naked. Steelers get, like, they were so accustomed to us winning that Saturday was like the pre-party. And after the Steelers win was the after party. Like, and that's how they treated it. So, and when we lost, it was like a big bummer. Like, they were just like quiet. And I never took losing well. I am
competitive.
Very competitive, and I am a sore loser. And I was a sore loser well into my adulthood, like my 30s. Like, I would have people come visit me at games, and, you know, I lost a lot as a Jet. And I would sit in the car and not talk, and my whole car would be quiet on the way home.
Really?
And people, and my mom and my wife now would be like, listen, I understand. You're upset, you're emotional, but these people just flew from halfway down across the country. Can you just come out and say hello, have some pizza, or have some food dinner? And I'd be like,
you just okay.
And I'd be sitting there eating, and, you know, a couple of jokes, have a couple of beers, and I'm like, all right, then I'll take my ass back to my room. So,
but that's why you're Super Bowl champ, because you have to. There's a thing with that, because if you were out like, hey, what's up? It doesn't matter. There was right.
And that's what I hated it. I hated to see it with the Jets, and I hated to see it with other teams. I remember there was a nightclub called Whip. It was underneath Greenhouse.
Oh, really? When?
Yeah, it was called Whip. There's a nightclub in the city called Whip. It was a good nightclub. It was like kind of under Greenhouse, which was on Vera Street here in the city. And I used to party at both. And so I remember one time, I'm not going to say no names because I don't want to call nobody out, but it was a couple of Knicks, two of them. And we just got blown out by 30, right? And they played like either the night before or that night. And they got their ass bust too.
Well, those years,
And so I knew my ass shouldn't have been out, but I was just like, you know, we weren't a very good team. It was what it was. But then they came in and they had like 20 bottles on the table. And they were just like, hey, man, we're going to another club. You want these bottles? And I'm like, this is the problem with New York. We celebrate losses like we celebrate wins. It's the biggest. Like, the places, they don't get it. And so I stopped coming out after losses because I felt like I was just like feeding into the BS.
I'm not going to mention the name, but I got to tell you this because you're going to get a kick out of this. So I'm at the Stand. I'm performing at the Stand Comedy Club, which is on 16th Street. And so the Giants went in. Daniel Jones, who played an unbelievable game on the road against the Vikings, and we won that playoff game. Yeah. I mean, his numbers were like really incredible.
That's why he got paid. They paid him right after that.
They paid him right after that. He got the contract, and he went in. They were a 13-win team with Cousins, and they were killing it. And we just took him out in the first round. And the next week we're playing the Eagles, right? And one of the Giants comes into the Stand. I'm not going to mention who. And he's not on the Giants anymore. I don't even know if he's on the other team that he went to. But he comes in, and my man was drinking. And he's hanging out drinking. I'm like, what's up, man? This and that. And I think he had just come off an injury. So whatever. And I just remember going, yeah, man. Like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, it's Friday. I mean, I know you got a couple days. But he was going hard. Yeah. And he goes, man, I'll be honest with you. He goes, I think we're going to win. We got fucked up. We lost. We got romped.
Walking around the city looking wet and got mopped up. I already know.
We got mopped up, and then he was on another team. But that's so hilarious to me. That,
see, that's wild that he partied on Friday. We would only party. Our party didn't go past Thursday. Like, to go out like Friday, Thursday was like. We always watch.
It might have been it was definitely not before Thursday. So it was either Thursday or Friday. Yeah. But he was with a young lady, and you want to know what's funny? They were like, "Yo, one of the Giants is in here," and I'm like, you know, I'm a Giant, and he was the one. Like, they were like talking, disrupting the show a little bit because he was with the woman and everything like that, and he was just So somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to?" And I remember I said something about the Eli Manning. because I had a joke with Eli in it at the time, and he would like go like this, and he was like super cool. But it's just like for me, that's when I get like a lot of comedians love musicians, but I love athletes. So like when Steve Mazzilli, by the Steve Mazzilli,
it's a mixed bag. I've run into a lot of comedians who appreciate our work and kind of they grew up sports fans.
Yeah. There's definitely a group of us that are like, yo, so and so. I performed in front of Michael Strahan at the stand one time, the first stand, the old stand, and then the Giants assistant GM was in the front row the other night, and Brandon Brown. Shout out to Brandon Brown. He went to Fordham, but he So anytime you see somebody, so like when they said coming to your foundation, I was like, yeah, but because what you guys like NFL, man, that's the closest thing to like modern day gladiator shit, like the hitting and the speed of the game, which has changed so much, right? Okay, guys, before we continue with the show, I just want to announce some stand-up dates that I have coming up on Thanksgiving Eve, which is November 26th. I will be in West Nyack, New York at Levity Live for one show only. That's Thanksgiving Eve, November 26th in West Nyack, New York at Levity Live. Then on December 12th, you can catch me at the Newtown, Connecticut Edmond Town Hall Theater. That's Newtown, Connecticut, December 12th at the Edmond Town Hall Theater. Then on New Year's Eve, I will be in Providence, Rhode Island at the Comedy Connection, one of my favorite clubs. Those shows are going to sell out, guys. Get your tickets to that. That's New Year's Eve. January 8th, the DC Improv. And then Valentine's weekend at Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida. For all other dates, go to paulvirzi.com. I hope to see you guys at a show. Now let's get back to the podcast.
The game is still violent. It's just not as violent. You just can't do a lot of stuff. Like the way we played during my time, we just can't play it. Like you just can't. It's not how it is no more. So that's why I'm always careful when I'm on platforms like this and not to be like, back in my day, what I mean? Because it shows that you haven't adjusted, right? When the rest of the league is, so I'm always critical of myself of being like, listen, dog, how you got down, these young guys they don't get down like that. Even when I was at training camp and I was around some of the younger guys, I was cautious of, spilling my knowledge because it was just two different frames of thinking and skill, and this from a technique standpoint, they're not teaching it like how I was taught. But at the the old way sometimes still works, But I think so many offensive line coaches and OCs want to get kind of cute and creative when like, listen, the three things that matter in football is blocking, catching, and tackling. Right? You perfect those, you're going to win football games. So that just is what it is.
Yeah. It's no secret why turnovers just are killers, right? I mean, that's why offensive line players are so down. I think these guys, one, don't have enough time on the field, and two, I think a lot of these guys who are in position to teach these offensive lines, they're not. I won't say they're not teaching the right thing, but there's definitely a gap missing. There's something missing with technique and schemes and stuff. So. I wanted to talk to you about that. But so you went to the Jets. How many years were you with the Jets?
3 total.
That was the end of your. Yeah,
I officially wrapped it up in 16. But I was thinking about coming back in 16, but 15 is where I played with Fitz. We had that big run. Okay, with Decker and Marshall and Chris Ivory.
I think, if memory serves me correctly, I think I was in the airport when I saw you guys lost to the Bills at the end of the season.
Rex was so horny for us. Oh, he was so horny for us.
What? Oh, yeah.
Because he knew he was going to get fired. But before he went out, he's like, I'm taking you bastards with me. Because we had fired him, right? And then he goes to Buffalo. And we need to beat Buffalo to go into the playoffs. And then if we beat Buffalo, we're playing Cincinnati, which in my mind, we're beating Cincinnati. Like we just knew we can beat Cincinnati. Like
is that a matchup thing?
Matchup.
I think we were talented?
I think we were just more talented. I think we were just ready to go that year. And Rex was just like, no. He was just like, I'm killing everything before I leave.
I'm burning this bitch.
He was so fired up on the sideline. I was out there. I was actually hurt that game. I think Fitz threw a couple picks. We couldn't really run the ball. I think Chris Ivory was hurt. I think we had Stephen Ridley running the ball. He was like a shell of himself at that point. So
yeah, I think there was a big interception in the
end zone.
In the end zone, yeah. I think that's what I saw at the airport. All right, last question before we get into the show. Well, we're in the show, but until we get to the best.
Sure.
Why would and this you're the best person to ask for this. The best person to ask for this. Why does a kid at the U or Alabama or, any of these big schools, LSU, dominate on the offensive line, Alabama, Evan Neal, and then get to and I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but I'm just, because you were saying just dominate in the SEC, which
Yeah.
is and then get to the league, and for some reason it's just the offsides because they're too jumpy. They're getting dominated. The crowd starts to get restless with them, and these are big dudes that have done it. And I guess the follow-up question was, do you think Evan Neal moving to guard and changing the position will do anything or not? But what's the adjustment, would you say?
Well, it's a loaded question. So, one, I think a lot of guys, when they get to the league, even though they play big-time ball at the big universities like you've talked about, I think sometimes when they get to this level, they forget that you still got to perfect your craft, right? And I think sometimes guys have a way of cutting themselves, meaning from the neck up, right? They get overconfident or they lack confidence or they're accustomed to playing one way, but when you get into the league, you still have to evolve. That you just don't.
You ain't done.
You're not done. Like you still got to add things to your game. Footwork, scheme has to match your play style. You have to match the scheme. There there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think a lot of guys, man, forget that just because you played at Alabama, that's not like going against the Colts. You know what I mean? It's not like going against the Niners. Like, there's a reason we're professionals. And so you're going against, and people don't understand, like, when you're going against a starting defensive end, you're going against the best guy at that position on that team. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's not like you're going against you're going against the best guy that the San Francisco 49ers have to offer. So that guy is usually an ass kicker, right? And the guy behind him is just a smidget touchdown.
That's a great way to say it. It's like, these are the best.
These are the best. You're not going against like average Joes. Like in college, you're an 18-year-old going against a senior. The senior should kick the 18-year-old's ass, right? You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
When you play the Cleveland Browns, like you're going against the best. You're playing against Myles Garrett, the best, right?
Yeah.
So, and these guys are getting paid to be the best at their position. So I think some of these young guys don't get it. Like, you're not playing against a guy who's like in between. No, you're going against the best that Jacksonville or the Texans have to offer at that position. So that guy, he's loaded. There's a lot that comes with him. Now either have to bring your game up and match his intensity, which I think that hurts a lot. A lot of guys don't get that. A lot of guys are scared to match their opponent's intensity. Like, if you see a guy growling and chomping at the bit, it's not time for you to kind of outthink him. No, you start chomping and biting at the bit too, right? Like, dog only meets dog. Dog only beats dog.
Yeah.
And I think some of these guys kind of try to feel their way through games. Like, I don't want to wake up a sleeping giant, so I don't want to piss him off. If you call me a motherfucker, I'm calling you a motherfucker back, and we just gonna bang it out. But I also know that's my mentality. Not every guy's built like that. But I also know, as an offensive lineman, there's 5 of us, right?
Yeah.
If my 5 can attack your defensive line and we can lean on you and continue to pick at you, you're either gonna buck up or you're gonna crack, right?
Yeah.
But it's for us to apply that pressure, and that's what good offensive lines do. And I think for Evan Neal, I think I think off the field, I think some guys are more brand focused and business focused.
Okay.
I didn't give a shit about nothing else but football. I really didn't. When I was a young Steeler, I wanted to be the best I can be. I was on a championship line.
You wanted to win.
Yeah, I wanted to win because the line I was with, they just had won the Super Bowl in 2005. And so I was forced to grow. I was forced to grow up fast because I was, coming back to the locker room talking about the girls I hooked up with and the party and all this stuff. And these dudes was like, bro, I got homework after practice. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, they just didn't. So my conversation, I wasn't talking to guys necessarily. But the guys I was starting with were older. They were like in their late 20s to early 30s who had families and kids. So me sitting around them talking about me taking shots or getting a hickey, they were just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, we got Buffalo. Get your mind right, do your job, and don't be the one that makes us lose, right? Offsides, holding, all this other nonsense. So I had to grow up, you know? So I wasn't around, like, once I cracked the lineup, like, I was like, all right, I don't want to let these guys down. I don't want to look like the oddball. So, and then I had an offensive line coach. I had a very good offensive line coach in Russ Grimm, who's one of the original Hogs for Washington. Okay. He was my first offensive line coach. He was great, taught me how to play the position. And it just really gave me a lot of confidence. And my second offensive line coach was Larry Zerline. My first year with him, he was a motherfucker. Like, I did nothing right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I had him, it wasn't so much he was – because I try to mimic the other guys next to me. So when they would do things on certain plays or a certain technique, I would try to mimic them solely because I didn't want to get cussed out. But I would get cussed out trying to mimic them. So I remember one time there was a technique that I was using for my left tackle. His name was Marvell Smith, and I used to do the same thing on the same play if it was ran to my side, and I got cussed out for it. And my offensive line coach was like, "Who taught you how to do that?" And I was just like, "Well, Marvell does it." He's like, "Oh, you fucking Marvell!"
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "No, but you didn't yell at him." He was like, "Are you Marvell? He's a Super Bowl champ. Pro Bowler, da-da-da. He's like, this is year 2 for you. You got the nerve to do what Marvell does? And I just felt like this small.
Oh, shit.
And 2 ways I could take it.
Yeah.
I could do what he's telling me to do, right?
Right.
Or I could be combative and be in my feelings like, oh, coach hates me.
Yeah, you don't want, yeah.
And I was a little bit of that, but I had to get out of that. Yeah. So it forced me to kind of grow up and really listen to the details he was trying to teach me. And it helped me grow as a pro, physically and mentally.
That's crazy, man. And that makes a lot of sense because you're a young kid at the time, right? Yeah. How old are you when you got drafted? Were you 22?
I was 22, 23.
22, 23, and you just you don't want to ruffle feathers. You want to do
Nah, you just want to, and you know, Pittsburgh is one of those coaches, man, where like, it's kind of like the Army, bro. Like you're supposed to be seen, not heard, but yet you seek the validation of guys who are considered like 5-star generals. When you see Joey Porter walking around, when you see Hines Ward walking around, Ben Roethlisberger, Heath, like we got some badass dudes walking around. You don't want to seem like a small puppy amongst in a kennel of pit bulls, right?
How about Tomlin? Tomlin cool, or Tomlin is Tomlin a?
I think
discipline.
Man, he's all of the above, but I think he just has a very unique way of getting through to guys, and I think it's not how most, you hear a lot of people say, well, that's not what Belichick would do. You know, Belichick would get a guy's ass. Like, all right.
You mean, but individually, get to guys individually?
Individually.
He would find out how to get to that guy.
I think not only get to that guy individually, but he knew how to motivate and discipline a guy at the same time, which is hard. And what I mean by that is like, hey, we may take reps from you, or we may do this, we may kind of discipline you in this manner, but that doesn't mean it's the end of you. And he would kind of coach you up that way. And he would kind of give you a game plan of like what they're looking for you. So when we do pull your number again, you're prepared for that moment. And I think that's part of coaching too.
All right, so here we go. Now this is the best. I'm excited. We are gonna. This is what the show is, and who better to ask than a Super Bowl champion?
Yeah.
Offensive lineman. Who were the best? Also, in your mind, be the biggest pain in the asses that you had to deal with. Man. But who were you lining up against on Sunday, and you knew going in, you were like, no matter how this going to be, this fucking guy is coming. He's going to be a pain in the ass. He's going to talk, and he probably will get through a couple times.
Oh, yeah,
You know, but who were the best defenders that you had to block?
So right off the rip, I'm going to tell you Haloti Ngata for the Baltimore Ravens. Was probably number 1. Number 2 is probably Kyle Williams from the Buffalo Bills. Number 3, I can't think about it on my 3. I played against a lot of good guys, but those 2 are probably that stick out the most for me. And, you know, the thing about I say this a lot. Like, for my matchups against Haloti were, because I think we were drafted the same year. He was first round, I was 4th round.
What school did he go to?
He went to Oregon.
He went to Oregon, okay.
Yeah, but so the thing about Haloti, man, is we were built the same way. Meaning we played with a short wick. He was quick, he was fast, strong as a bull, like just
ridiculous,
like insanely strong. And he played with a lot of pride and passion. Like those Polys play with a lot of, like, Polynesians play like it's not football to them. Like you're disrespecting the family, and they're willing to die for it. Like they play with a level of aggression and pride. Yeah, that, like the brothers.
Well, that's Polamalu, right? Too
Troy Simone, and so like they play with just a different level of like get down. So I try to tell everybody, like, man, when you're going against guys at NFL, man. Like, so every guy has a superpower, right? They're either fast, they're either smart, or there's something
super
to them that's
strong.
kind of their edge, right?
Yeah.
When you go against a guy who matches your superpower and plays with a short wick, the next level to that is like, all right, I got to fight you. Like, I have nothing else as a man to offer to the team other than to fight you old.
We're fighting after this
We
shit.
just got to fight. Like,
yeah.
we're going to fight for 4 quarters. If you kick my ass, and because at the end, what I mean by fight is like,
I love that.
I'm losing. The technique that I was taught to defeat you no longer works.
No.
The things that I was kind of in my breadbasket with his hand placement, hat placement, footwork, those little tricks I could use no longer work.
So this is everything out the window now.
This is what I'm talking.
Everything out the window.
I gotta fight this motherfucker. Like I gotta like put my bare grown man hands on him, and I gotta try to move this man from 80 to B for 4 quarters, and we're just gonna get after it. And so I'm throwing like I may club you upside the head. Like I may just throwing shit to survive out here and thrive. So those were the type of matchups I was having against him. And Kyle Williams for the Bills was just a bull, man. His get off. He's first of all, I didn't know this till like late in my career. The son of a bitch is Cajun. So he's pasty white with his red hair, and he has like this kind of like small like fridge type build, but he was tough, insane get off, and he had a Cajun accent. So when he talked, he would throw me off, and I'd be like, "Oh, you Cajun?" I'm thinking like you some I know you because you look like an
Irish dude,
like an Irish dude from Notre Dame. Like I just thought I just had him pictured, and then he would just say something like, "I'm like, what the hell happened to you?" Like, what's wrong? He's like, Then I found out he's from the Low Country, so you just like, like this dude is no money, he's badass like that.
Now, would you ever like if somebody's getting beat bad, if somebody's just getting beat all game? Defensive ends are coming in and like Ben's in trouble all game, right? And you got to come out and hit, like. Do you guys make adjustments as far as like
100%? Yeah,
like I mean like in game.
Yeah, you
have to, right?
Yeah, so you try to get in the game. You just, there's chip help throwing running backs at him. Usually guys like that, you try to run the ball at him where he's constantly dealing with 2 dudes, more than one, depending on the scheme. There's multiple things you could do. Yeah.
Defensive and but you guys did play different leagues too, though. You didn't just always play AFC, right? You played.
No. But Baltimore. We played them twice because they're in that division.
And Jets, you played twice, and
Jets. We didn't play the Jets a lot. We played in my career as a Steeler. We played the Jets twice.
So it's the Browns, the Ravens,
and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So did you play the Patriots a lot?
We did. We played Pats, I think 3 or 4 times. Yeah, and one time Castle was at quarterback. And twice was Brady. Yeah.
Okay, so Brady, was that wild?
Yeah, Brady was. So we had a man. I only remember this. And shout out to Smitty. I love you, dog. I just gotta tell the story. Man, we had a safety by the name of Anthony Smith. Man, and before the week playing the Patriots. He was a safety at Syracuse actually, and he was known for being like a hard hitter. So he spent the whole week talking about how we gonna get after the Pats and we gonna do X, Y, Z. Well, Brady reads the clippings, right? Like he just knows.
He knows what's being
said. He knows who's being said.
Yeah.
And we go against the Pats, man. And the first out the gate, Brady just slicing and dicing, throws a touchdown, and Brady, while most people or quarterbacks after touchdown, you high five the O-line, do a couple chest bumps, if you got a handshake, boom, you go back, get to the sideline. This dude Brady snapped his joint off and beeline right to Anthony Smith and got in his grill and started talking just like they just started going at each other.
Wait a minute, I think I saw that on ESPN.
Yeah.
I think I saw he went like right up
just
to him. I think I swear to God, what year? Do you remember what year that was?
I don't know. I think it was maybe 07, 08, maybe that year.
Okay.
But he looks for A. Smith.
So that's Randy Moss, right, on that team? Did you play Moss?
I think Moss and
because Moss was on 07.
He may have been that team. I may get next year, years mixed up.
Sure.
But Brady goes
and
finds him.
Beeline.
And just starts getting in his ass about, and I'm saying like, oh,
that's crazy.
He's a real one. Most quarterbacks don't do that. They'll be like, whatever, dude. Say what you say. I let the scoreboard do the talking. Brady was like, nah, I'm going to drop these bombs on you, and I got something to say.
I was going to say, most quarterbacks get the touchdown, they go back and they're cheering.
Yeah,
the fact that he did that and then had the to go means that's the fire, though.
But even like as good as Brady was, his defense was kick ass. Like I remember going against Mike Vrabel when he was at outside linebacker. Ty Green, Richard Seymour, Woolfolk, Teddy Bruschi, Rodney Harrison, Ty Law was there.
That's a squad.
They were like some real dudes. These ain't like, Brady was great, but his defense was just as great. And so Brady gets a lot of glory, but that defense was kick ass. That defense was no joke, and it was all about that life too. Like I remember Mike Thomas saying it to us one time. He goes, the difference between us and the Patriots is the Steelers. He's like, I'll take this team and I'll go to any back alley in the country, and I know we can win a street fight, which is true. We had a lot of guys who about that life. But the Patriots have the same type of guys, and they're smarter. They don't beat themselves. And when we lost that game, it was an eye-opener because it's true. They were just as tough.
Yeah.
They were just as ready for the fight. They were well prepared, and they didn't beat themselves.
So they were more disciplined.
They were just a little more disciplined. We were kind of just, we were just kind of the guys who's smashing windows and doing what we do. So
yeah, you were just ready for a street brawl
at all times.
And they were, even if it hurt you,
yeah.
and they were like they were
ready for a street ball too. But they just, while we were kind of running out on motorcycles, they were just pulling up with a Cadillac like, "His job's done. We're going back to New England." So.
So you win the now. Tell me about, because when you're a squad that can win the Super Bowl, right? You're a squad that can win the Super Bowl. Going into, like, let's say week 8, you're going to beat these dudes, right? Like you know that it's going to be a fight, but like that we should, if we do our job.
We should get out of here with the dub.
We should get out of here with a W. We know we're playing professionals, but we kind of know their line and we know what we can do against this line and win. Now, talk to me about the Super Bowl, because not many people, however the Super Bowls are, not many people can say that they're a Super Bowl champion. And in the way that you guys did it, when Santonio catches that ball and the toes are down and they review it, that happens. But like, obviously the excitement going into that game is different. But are you guys more like? Are you more like focused that week in a different way, or was there a difference, or were you just like, this is business as usual, we're not fucked, but we're going to be more strict? Does it change, or you don't want to change anything because of you don't want to throw off your routine?
Well, that was one of the things I remember Mike Tomlin telling us, like, listen, whatever you did on Thursday, don't stop doing it on Thursday.
Right,
like,
keep it.
Keep your main thing the main thing. This is how you got here. I know me personally, and I can only speak to myself, for myself, excuse me, I was exhausted. I was flat out emotionally smoked, physically smoked.
What are you talking about going into the game?
Going into the Super Bowl. Like, I was exhausted because we had played Baltimore 3 times that year, and we had to beat Baltimore all 3 times. And Baltimore was Baltimore. Like, this wasn't like I said, these were like, this was like, if Ray Lewis was like Shredder, that was the Foot Clan. Like, he did, like, they, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I love that. Dude, I'm a huge Turtles.
And so, and they showed up like it. You know what I mean? Like, these
was that Suggs on the team?
Suggs, Haloti, Ed Reed, McAllister, Bart Scott, JJ. And even the backups were kick-ass guys. Like, these guys weren't like, you didn't play the Baltimore Ravens to have a day. Like, your manhood would be tested. Like, it just was what it was, my G. You know what I mean? Like,
Baltimore doesn't.
You didn't show up to be like, oh, they're on the schedule. Like, bro, you had to like tell your folks, like, I may be out of character this game because it's the Ravens.
Yo, don't judge me on this one.
But that's how they treated us, right? They would tell me, like, this ain't a teach tape game.
Right.
This ain't the game like you tell little Johnny, like, hey, you see how you ran this route? No. That route not big. Like, Hines Ward was picking dudes' heads off. Like, this was like a no role model game.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, this is
like,
Yeah, and so we had to go through that 3 times. Wow. And each time we won those games in a dramatic fashion.
Well, you won all 3?
Won all 3.
You won all 3, so that's
and so like the first game we won, the week before we played Philly, we played the Eagles in Philly, got our ass kicked. We gave up 9 sacks in the game, right?
Damn.
And then we got to go against Baltimore. We squeeze out of that game, a big 3rd down conversion from Walden Moore, gets us in field position. I think Hines gets a big catch, and then we kick a field goal, game over, Steelers win.
Okay.
The next game we got to go to Baltimore. This is for the division, right? We march down the field. Santonio has a controversial catch where I think he's in the end zone, but he's kind of poking out, and he catches the ball, and they don't know if it's a touchdown. People don't think it's a touchdown now, and they call it a touchdown. We win that game. And then the last game of that three-peat, we played the Ravens in the AFC Championship. Polamalu picks off Flacco, takes it in for the scores, ball game, and that's where you see Ryan Clark put Willis McGahee in a body bag with the big hit across the middle. Like, we had to do that 3 times.
Oh, man.
So you talk about dogfight. I was smoked, bro, and I didn't go to Alabama. I didn't go. I went to Hofstra, right in Long Island. I'm a New Yorker, so like I didn't. I played 8 games in my like I was just. I was
and that's the last game you played before the Super Bowl, the AFC Championship, right?
Yep, against
so you guys must have been.
So going against the Cardinals, I was like, bro, kick me in my nuts, to do whatever you want. Like I was just like it didn't matter. So, but it was the Super Bowl, and so that's why that last drive, I think to most was like, oh my God, clutch your pearls. But we have been through so much of so many situations like that.
Yeah.
That one situation we were kind of prepared for because that was our whole season.
Yeah.
So we were just like, dog, this is what we do. Let's just go down and score.
And Ben in the huddle you knew like he locked. He was locked.
Man, people don't understand how cold he was that year. Like 7 was, we call him 7.
Yeah.
7 was cold. Like from week 1 to the Super Bowl, he was in his bag. If you go back and watch that season highlights, I mean, dude's draping on him. He's dropping dimes. He's scrambling left, right, Sandlot style, across the, like they teach young quarterbacks don't throw across the field. He was like, fuck that. Bang, I'm hitting this guy. Like he was ice cold that year, man. And I think, out of that whole year, when you talk about a guy that was just on, he was on that year. He had to be because we had to grow up as an offensive line, and we did as the season went on. But he had to be money good, and he was every game.
I had never seen a guy his size be that elusive. The way he could jump, he would be sacked 3 times in a play and just get out of it and just
he would give people the dead leg. Like if you be on his leg, he'll make that leg go limp, slide out of it, shake a guy off him. 10 yards down the field, completion.
Now, without using names, because I know you can't do it, nor would I ever ask you to do it. But I
didn't drop too many names.
We always joke though, because I always said I used to do a joke about when McNabb threw up in the and I was like, if United States Army general, you're about to go into war, it's some of us might not make it. And you just see the general puking, but in your time being an offensive lineman, okay, in the NFL, because I know you probably didn't have that many quarterbacks, but when a backup was in one day, or when you were with the Jets and they didn't know which way, can you look as an offensive? I know you're locked in your job, but will you look at an offensive lineman kind of being the general, giving the play, and in your mind you're like, he's not confident, or this might not go well, or have
I ever had a quarterback?
Have you ever looked at a quarterback and be like, he don't look too confident right now?
No, because all our quarterbacks were pretty good.
Like
I said, behind Ben we had Byron Leftwich. Leftwich was great.
Yeah, great.
We had Charlie Batch, who pretty much played with Barry Sanders. So he's Charlie Batch was a Techno Bowl for the Detroit Lions. That's the quarterback. So Charlie he knew everything. He was great.
You weren't Mark Sanchez. Were you Mark Sanchez?
No. So my first year with the Jets I got there in 13 and going into the 14 season, and my first quarterback, Mark, they had just let Mark go because he got hurt in the preseason game.
Where did he go? He went to another team?
Yeah, I think he went to Philly.
Okay.
I think he went to Philly.
He did go to Philly.
And Geno Smith ended up starting. That was Geno's rookie year.
Okay.
And Revis had left and went to the Bucks. And that locker room was a little depleted. A lot of the old G's of the locker room had left. So it was people that only left was Nick Mangold, Brickshaw Ferguson, Cromartie, Calvin Pace, David Harris. Those are the only guys that really left. So Mo Wilkinson was on the team. So
if I was to ask you, Willie, what's the best memories you had? I know winning the Super Bowl, obviously, but what's the best memories of the Super Bowl? Was it going out there? Was it seeing what was your favorite memories of the Super Bowl?
Man, so first of all, I gotta acknowledge something. I don't have. The Super Bowl was great. We won in dramatic fashion, and the whole game was amazing, and so that needs to be said. But for me, the game that I'm so proud of winning is the AFC Championship against the Ravens, because we had beat them 3 times, the fashion in which we won. The Super Bowl as a whole, as far as memories, man, I told the story not too long ago. So we're coming out, the team. So we used to roll out in waves. So it'd be special teams, quarterbacks and tight ends, running backs out, and then the offense and D-line used to come together, and we would be the last wave out going on to the field. And so I don't know if you noticed, but behind that door, before you know how the NBC or one of those shows always show the doors open and the line comes out,
and everybody runs out. Yeah.
Well, behind that door,
smoking shit,
all that. So behind that door, we're talking buku shit, wow, we about to get us a motherfucker today. We talking cash money shit, right?
We talking wild shit.
Yeah, we talking wild shit. And so behind on the other side of the door is all the cameras for the Super Bowl, right? And so we yappity yap. We talking, we gonna bust their ass. We going crazy. And across from me is my left guard. His name is Chris Kimwatu. He's Polly. So me and Kimo we gonna bust their ass. We getting whoopity whoop. We talk all type of gangster shit. The doors swing open and we start walking. Well, the camera guy, the producer, whoever for the show was you guys can't walk out yet. You gotta wait 1 second, then you can walk. So I'm fine. bro, why did Kourtney Kardashian and Kardashians walk by us, right? They walk camera crew, they walking right here. And so Mike, we hyped up. We on some gang killer. We ready for war. Bro, why did the Kardashians walk by us and all of us was like, damn, she fine. Did you see how fine she is? I told Kim, I was like, she's fine. Chemo was like, yeah, brother, she fine as a motherfucker.
Took you out of your...
Just killed us. We went from yacht to damn, that fine motherfucker.
You guys went from amped up before a Super Bowl to already at the nightclub.
Right. Everybody was checking it. You got your phone? You get that girl number, girl. You said it, goddamn. And so she kind of gave us one of these and kept pushing. And then, the whoever the producer was like, you guys ready? And so we looked at each other like, oh yeah, we gonna bust their ass.
We had to get it back.
Yeah, we got to get our shit back. But Kourtney Kardashian, I don't know, you almost lost the game for us.
That's so great. That's
so.
And then I would imagine obviously the game, but your family afterwards, that must have been
Man, so two things at the end of the game. So my mother, when Santonio catches the touchdown, about 5 or 6 rows up, my mother is standing there head in the Bible. My brother's jumping out of his seat.
Oh my God!
And so my mother never saw the play because she was praying the whole time, that whole last drive.
Oh, that's
amazing. She prayed the whole last drive for us to score. And so my brother, there's a picture of her head buried in the Bible, little old woman. My brother's jumping in the sky. Santonio catches the ball. We win a Super Bowl.
Wait, she actually had a
little
Bible book?
Little New Testament green ass Bible.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. I have it.
The leather with the leather, yeah.
I have it.
She's like this, smack dab in it.
That's amazing.
Place is going stupid. She smacked in it. I don't know what verse she was on, but that shit hit. Right, know what I mean? And so she's smacked reading the Bible. My brother's going crazy. We win a Super Bowl. They let the family onto the field. And my brother jumps onto the field, and my mother's small little woman. And so he throws her ass over and pretty much slaps her onto the back, and they walk onto the field. And so they see me, they're like, so my brother's like, oh shit, you won, bro. We hugging and crying.
Oh, God.
I'm like, Ma, I was like, I'm not sure. My mother's hugging and crying me. I was like, Ma, we did it. She's like, yeah. And so my brother goes, she ain't see shit. That damn head was in the Bible. And I was like, what? She was like, I couldn't watch. She's like, it was too much. I couldn't watch, so I just prayed. So she prayed.
That's the greatest, dude. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. She's just like, I can't. She couldn't watch I'm going to God.
Well, she didn't like me. She didn't like me. Right. She didn't like me watching. She didn't like watching me. Period. She always thought I played really violent. She liked to see me get in fights.
Yeah.
But she just wanted to be the mom.
Yeah.
One of the greatest compliments I love from my mom-son relationship when. My mom used to ask me, people used to like, oh, what position does your son play? She'd be like, I don't know, but he starts. That's what she would say. So I don't know, but he's out there. So that was always a mental. That was all right, as long as I'm on the field, that's good enough for her. So.
Isn't it amazing how your mother, my mom will say to me, and I almost lost my mom to cancer, stage 4.
Yeah, my mom's gone too. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, a test drug kept my mom alive. My mom
still
survived.
Oh, awesome.
So sorry about your mom.
No, it's all right. No, it's fine.
I love that she's reading the Bible during the thing, but when your mom says to you, hey, I'm proud of you, even something like that, cause, and they'll but they're still moms. I remember the first time I did a TV spot, I did something, and they had me on the split screen, and I said, and she was like, I'm so proud of you, but you shouldn't wear gray.
Right.
Goes, why are you wearing gray?
Right. It washes
I'm
you
so
out.
happy, but the gray wasn't the right color.
Do it, yeah.
That's such a mom.
That's my wife. She'd be like, don't do it. It washes you out. Don't look good. And then she's like, then you didn't brush your hair. Don't stop. And I was just like, thanks.
Speaking of your wife, now I want to talk about, and first of all, man, such great stories, dude. So great, man. So funny. I can sit here and do this thing forever because I'm such an NFL fan. I'm so happy, that the NFL is back, and I'm a Giants fan. Giants defense, look, I'll tell you what, man.
I think a top 5 best front sevens in football.
I think this kid Abdul Carter is going to be a problem.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Also talking to an offensive lineman.
Well, listen, because I have these conversations. I have these conversations with people like, oh, you know about this kid? People are like, oh, I'm just like, dude,
let it happen.
Let's get to week 1. Let's get to week 5. I'm big into let guys earn their stripes.
All right, so I want to talk about you and your wife's foundation, but before I do that, okay, because we got time. Because this is my shit.
Yeah, right.
This is my show.
I'm good. The kids are picked up, so I'm good.
So I say it's very rare and you play the game, so you know more than me, but I say it's very rare, probably 1 out of every 10 years or 15 years, somebody coming from college will be a star. Yeah. I think the last one that everybody knew, I think, was it Andrew Luck? Andrew Luck was one that they were like, this is a no doubt.
About it.
It happens a few times. I think Peyton Manning a little bit, although his first season he threw a lot of interceptions. Defensively, I know it's harder. Do you think, though, Abdul Carter has a thing that is different where it's like I know you said we'll see, but you think he's got a better chance than others based on what you've seen on tape so far, or no?
Well, I liked him in college. I thought he showed. I think he showed great range, and I thought he was. I'm big into star players showing up in situational moments, meaning like, hey, I'm going to be the guy to carry this team.
The star is the star when they need to be the star.
I'm big into that, right? And so I think he's had splash plays like that in college. I think, right now the top dog on that defense is Dexter Lawrence. Like they don't he's don't even sleep. He's that guy. He's him. The best. As these young kids like to say, that's him.
Yeah, he's him.
I think he has from a body shape, skill set, he has the potential to be an elite pass rusher. But people don't realize it's hard to get to the quarterback in the league, man. Like the ball's out in 2.3 seconds, there's a lot that has to happen on the back end for a guy to get home to a quarterback with the ball still in his hand.
Yeah.
And then, you're going to have your welcome to the league moments. Like I said, just like we forget, like, the guy in front of me gets paid a lot of money to be a badass. Well, same thing for those offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So when you start going against the Panay Sewells from Detroit, the Trent Williams out in San Francisco, you start seeing, the Tristan Wirfs out of the Bucks. Like, you start seeing some of these, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson.
And they hear all the noise.
Oh, how can you not?
Yeah, this guy's going to dominate, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, especially rookie. Oh, I'm putting hands on him. I'm a part-time pastor. I'm baptizing these hoes. You know what I mean? I'm out here. And so that's how I used to go to those games. If I had a rookie that was like that, or supposed to be like that, I'm gonna see if he's really like that.
It's funny you said the NFL moment where it's different. Neighbors said, man, the first time I felt a hit, he said he had thought they were playing the Commanders.
Yeah.
And he said he thought he had the guy beat because he had the line on. But the guy ended up doing a move which slowed him down. And he said, this dude from the side, and he goes, he felt, what about the Freeman McNeil story? Freeman McNeil said he knew Blair Thomas was not going to, this is what Freeman McNeil said to the Jets. He said, because Blair Thomas went to Penn State. Okay. He was a running back. He was a big running back in the late 80s, early 90s. And he came out of Penn State, and Blair Thomas, Jets got put. And Freeman McNeil of the Jets said he saw Blair Thomas's face after he got hit in the NFL. And he said he looked at him, he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because it's a different, it must be a different feel, right?
So one of my favorite stories, this is a real ass story. I was telling Troy Polamalu's story. So it's my rookie year.
Yeah.
We go to Jacksonville. It is hotter than a mug. Like, it's hot, bro. Like nasty hot. Like when you peel your clothes off, you type hot, right? Yeah. And our defense and our team, we're doing all right. Mind you, we're coming off a Super Bowl, so our team is still kind of trying to shake the confetti off us. So it took us a while to get going. Anyway, we going to Jacksonville. And it's an absolute bloodbath. Jacksonville is wearing the all blacks, right? Oh. And so when Jacksonville came out, so this is when they had Marcus Stroud, John Henderson, the Harris on the back, and Donovan Darris at safety, Hardy Nicholson. Like this is like,
who was the quarterback? Do you remember who the quarterback was?
I think Leftwich was the quarterback.
Leftwich was the quarterback. After Brunell.
Yes. Yeah. And so they had Fred Taylor at running back. Like their O-line was kick ass too. So anyway. So I'm not dressed for this game. I'm not playing. So I'm in my grays, right? And I'm watching Jacksonville come out, and they had, you know how like WWE wrestling, like the guys, all you see is the silhouette of the big son bitch, but it's not really him, like that giant type figure. Yeah. Bro, John Henderson comes out, and he's in the all black, and all you saw, like his shadow go bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm saying, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
And the whole defense comes out, and they all look like killers. I'm like, oh, Lord, we in a dogfight. But we the Steelers, we about that life, whatever. Man, we had a play called 38 crack toss, and it was a toss sweep to Fast Willie ass Parker.
Okay.
Fast Willie is really fast in real life, as advertised, right? But
you mean like a pitch?
Like a toss, right?
A toss, right?
But he wasn't like, his thing was getting to the outside, 88 out.
And was the pitch played to your side?
It's to our sideline, yes.
Okay.
So 38 crack toss. We pitched the ball to Willie P. I'm standing on the sideline. It's me and my two other offensive linemen. We're not dressed for the game. They throw the ball to Willie P. Willie P breaks out, poof, up the sideline. And I'm looking at Willie P come up the sideline, and Donovan Darius, he's midfield.
I remember that.
Turned into a goddamn missile. Runs, bro. No bullshit. You run. It was like, poof, right?
Oh, man.
He hits, bro. I've been around football so long. I done seen a lot of shit. He hit Willie P so goddamn hard, I thought he killed him. First of all, not only did it, dog, he hit him so hard, I thought he exploded into confetti. Like the mother, bro, it was insane how hard Donovan Darius hit Willie P.
Was he down?
No, so this is the thing. So Donovan Darius smashes Willie P on the sideline. I'm looking at Willie P. Willie P pops up and goes, "Hey, don't go out there. They'll kill you." I said, "What?" I said, "What?" He said, "Man, don't go out there, man. They kill you." I said, "He concussed, bro." Did you hear what he just said? And two, this is the only time in my life that I ever felt, thank God I'm not playing in this game.
Oh,
because it was a smash out. Like, dudes, when Willie P popped up, he said, "Bro, don't go out there. They kill you, man." And his eyes was this goddamn big. I said, "Oh, hell no."
You know what that reminded me of? When Zap Judah got knocked out and he popped up real quick? Okay, it was almost like he was out of his...
Bruh. And Willie P jogged back to that goddamn huddle. And I said, "Oh, they hitting for real. Like they trying to knock us."
And this is a regular season?
Like a Monday night. It was a Monday night game.
Wow. Yeah. I remember that player.
Donovan Darius.
I remember that.
Donovan Darius was a real live set. He was Rodney. Well, him and Rodney played around the same time, but he was like a real hitter.
And you were in Jacksonville?
In Jacksonville.
On a Monday night.
Monday. And they was wearing the all blacks. We had the whites on.
You're just happy to be in sweats?
It was hot. I remember I just kept sweating. Like, why we we were just leaking. And Willie P got his ass smashed on that side.
I mean, Willie, these stories are, these are fucking killer. Let's talk about, I'll tell you one more thing.
Go ahead,
you're the best.
Go.
We were at a game. We go to games sometimes, college games, once a year. When we're on the road, sometimes friends, all the comedian friends. And I remember Bill Burr called me up and he goes,
Love Bill Burr.
He goes, call him. He goes, let's go to the Red River Rivalry, okay, which was Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you free? You want to just, we'll do a show and we'll go to that game. And I go, I'll go. Let's go. So we go, and it's at Cotton Bowl. It was a Cotton Bowl, right? So
this is this year?
We go. No. This is years back. This is a long time ago. And we're like, all right, so let's just bet on the game. We're here, so we'll just put a little something. So like we were sitting in the Texas section.
Okay.
So like we'll bet Texas because everybody's here. We'll just cheer for Texas. So we bet Texas. Texas comes out. They come out first.
Who's that quarterback?
I don't know who was.
Was Young?
No, it was the kid who played for the backup for the Giants. My God, you know the kid's name I'm talking about.
It don't matter. I'll stop. I mean,
no. But I'm trying to think of. He was a backup for the Giants not long ago, and he played for a couple teams. But so they come out. Texas comes out. Everybody's going like this, and we're like, oh yeah, we got money on them. Let's go. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma comes out. And as Oklahoma came out, they were looking at Texas. They like ran close to them, and they're going like this.
Yeah.
And there was a different feel. And me and Bill looked at each other, like, we just lost this money.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? Oklahoma fucking walked them.
You know, there's such a thing called passing the test, getting off the bus. When you see motherfuckers get off the bus, and you like, I don't think we have enough, guys.
Me and you grew up with that with Mike Tyson fights. When Mike Tyson walked and they put the camera on the other dude, it was...
I went to Cardinal Hayes High School in the Bronx, so we would play like Christ the King and Xavier and all these schools. Like we would look at the bus to see like who's coming off the bus. There's a test. Like, hey, I don't think we got enough dudes for that guy. Like,
we're in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's playing the Bengals. And it was to honor that game. They honored Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
We're outside at night of the hotel talking to Fred Taylor's brother. I ran into Fred Taylor and I go, "Hey man," I said,
Fred T's a good dude.
I was just honored to meet you. Everything. I go, "But be honest." I go, "What do you think? You think Jacksonville going to win tomorrow or whatever?" He goes, "Yeah." No, it was the morning. He goes, "Yeah, I think we're going to win today." Right? He just said that. We go out. We're looking. We're in Jacksonville. We watch the Jaguars swag.
Yeah.
Then we watch the Bengals come out. We're like, Bengals got it. Guess what? Bengals had. There's a different thing like game day early where you could feel like. And listen, anything could happen, but there was a thing.
I tell young guys all the time, believe in blind enthusiasm. meaning your energy and your enthusiasm will create a wave to your teammates.
Even if it's delusional.
Even if it's delusional. Even when you know you got a bunch of bakers and goddamn priests on your team.
Yeah.
Or when you look at a bunch of juveniles and criminals on the other side. If you come with the energy like you're going to come kick ass and play with this blind enthusiasm, it will propel you into either a win or a great, or listen, even if you don't win, you showed up and put up a good fight.
100, I really believe that.
I've seen teams talk themselves out of playing the Steelers. Like, I've seen it. Like, especially like if we're like, we've been times where like we're going to the playoffs and the other team walks in, they're just like, oh, these motherfuckers is oiled up. They got the abs showing. They ain't got no sleeves. It's 20 degrees out here. Like, there's a psychological warfare that goes into pregame where a lot of teams like, man, we ain't making the playoffs. I'm up for contract. The wife already booked the Sandals vacation. I ain't down with this bullshit. Let's just get it over with.
I hate to say it, when my Giants took their shirts off and they were running on the field and it was freezing and shit with Odell, and they just got, but I don't know if you know this about me, but I beat the Vegas book the last 4 years.
I don't know that. I didn't know that.
I beat BetMGM.
Okay.
BetMGM, we do a show. I do a show with them.
Okay.
And we pick 4 games a week, and I beat the book 4 years in a row. I have a theory I'm gonna talk to you about. I can't.
I got you. Go.
But let's talk. I had the honor to be asked to do you and your wife's foundation at Gotham. I did it 2 years ago, and then not long ago, I did it again. It's always a great time. But talk about the foundation, because it's such a good thing, and the amount of people that come out and have a great time. So talk about it, and let's let people know to go to it.
Yeah. So it's the Willie and Akeisha Cologne Foundation. My wife, I'm from the South Bronx, New York, which is one of the poorest boroughs in all of New York City. And she's actually from Jackson, Mississippi, which is also another really poor place as well. And we both felt like it was a calling to plant our flags into communities where we're from, and really not just talk about it, but be about it. So we have 4 initiatives, which is health, wealth, education, sports, and wealth education, as far as financial literacy is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot. We do, I guess I don't want to say stereotypical thing, but we do the back to school drives, the turkey drives, to Christmas. The Christmas drive, which is I dress up as Santa. I pull up with a truck full of toys, and I just let the kids have at it. That's probably one of my highlights of the year.
That's dope.
We also have an HBCU college fair because up north we don't really promote HBCU culture. Down south everything is huge.
Okay.
So we call a lot of HBCUs and kids who want to go down south or are interested in HBCUs, and we try to build the bridge and try to get kids enrolled or get some form of education in their hand where they can learn more about the school. We have my golf outing, which I do hand in hand with the LRA, which is the Lupus Research Alliance Foundation. That's Woody Johnson's foundation.
Okay.
And that's one of our biggest things, because we sell out every year. We do a great job with that.
That's awesome.
And then we also have my football camp, which we do either July or August. So we do that. So
where do you do the golf?
We've done it the last 11 years at Canoe Brook Country Club in Summit, New Jersey.
Okay.
And a lot of ball players come out, guys I've played with. We're fortunate to have Fitzpatrick play and a couple other guys. And we've had CC in the past. We've had other guys come out and play. So it's worked. It's been.
If you have any comedians to swing them, I'll swing them.
No, definitely. I'll definitely have you come out. I would love for you to come out. And so we do that. And then me and my wife just dropped a book.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have a book called. We just dropped. It's on Amazon. I'll make sure I give you the link.
Yeah, for sure.
It's called Faith and Fertility. My wife is 5 years older than me, and it's pretty much a story of our relationship. Me, while I was still in the cleats, and her being an older woman, wanting to have kids, and we went the IVF route, and it didn't work. My wife had 8 miscarriages, and watching all the ups and downs, it was rough, and so. The book is really not only about romance, it's about a lot of couples not giving up, because, I tell you, listen, you've been around money, I've been around money. When you go into these clinics or these doctor's offices, you see couples that are dressed to the nines. I mean, like, they look like they have not a worry in the world. And the one thing that money can't buy is a baby for them. And you can see it just tears their ass up.
Wow.
And so we just want to be a beacon of light for that couple that was like us, who's waking up 6 a.m, me sitting on the couch trying to put one in a cup for him to plug their semen into my wife, and watching another failed process, and then you go through that time after time. It wears, and plus
That's rough, man.
Plus the medication that these women have to endure is out of this world. We literally had doctors telling us like, hey, this isn't working for you guys. You may want to start thinking about donor eggs. And I necessarily didn't know what that meant. And I had to learn about that. And, it was stressful. Real talk, I was working on SNY. I had to be on set. No, I was working on SNY, coming out of studio, walking into the doctor's office, sitting on the couch. First of all, you learn a lot about the guy before you. Right, because you've never been. So let me tell you a quick story. So when you're going through the IVS process, you got to put your sperm in a cup. So you walk in, they give you a cup, and they put you in a room like this, a nice little couch, a little TV, a remote, all the dirty mags in front of you, right? And there's like this menu of all these porns or things that can help you get off.
Yeah.
On the TV, and so the guy before you necessarily doesn't change what he was looking at. It's so Paul, the shit that dudes get off to.
I'm not gonna lie. As you were saying that, at first I was like, "Oh, that sounds dope." Then you said that, I'm like, "Nah,
bro, it's a mood killer." Like,
oh hell yeah,
they have some wild. Like the dude before you. I thank God you don't know who he is, right? Because I would judge. Like
you'd have to.
Beastie broads with bubble tape. Like this, it's just like it's all this not. It's not as attractive. So you have to kind of weave through all that nonsense, then get to what kind of gets you going.
Yeah,
and then like you're nervous because you're on the clock. There's a certain amount of window where you have to be able to do your thing. They have to take the sperm and then go and they take it and get it to your wife and they go through the process. So it's not like you have all day to just be like, all right, this is the one.
So there's windows.
Yeah, it's all about. So I'm in a
shit.
So I was in a 3-piece suit, looking at this dude. I'm in a 3-piece suit, around my ankle. The couch is plastic. I got this little cup. Paul, I'm looking at like, Debbie. Debbie does Don, right? And I'm sitting there like, all right, here we go. Trying to get in the right frame. Like I'm straight. I'm all noodle right now. So now I'm having a pep talk with myself. Like, bro, you gotta show up. So I go from like trying to like make love to myself to like game time conversation. Like we need to do this, right? You drop $15K, right, to have this thing.
Shit,
like
wow.
I spent well over 80 to 100K on IVF.
Wow.
And so
this isn't cheap.
It's not cheap. It's high pressure. Your wife's nervous. You're nervous.
Yep.
It's a process because you want it to hit, and when it doesn't hit, you got to go back to square one. Yep. And the worst part, the doctor who you're dealing with, he goes, we're trying different methods, and he's looking at you like,
I don't know what to tell you.
Like I'm just trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it was wearing my wife out, man. And so the book is great. It's real. It's raw. It's a lot about IVF. It's a lot about our spirituality and how much we really lean on God through this whole process.
It's amazing.
And so I really want people to, for a lot of couples who do plan on having babies or who want to go through the IVF process, to not give up because it could be daunting. And hopefully our book is motivation for you.
That's amazing. And how did you meet? If your wife's from Mississippi, you're from the Bronx. How'd that happen?
So we met in Atlanta at a club called Compound.
Okay.
She was dating the DJ. I was dating the bottle girl. Yeah, I was on my bullshit and she was on the same shit, and she was sitting right above me. I used to have dreads, and so she was looking down and she somehow got to touching my dreads, and I caught her hand. I was like, "Who's that?" And my wife has bright green eyes, and
that was it.
1 2 1 2. We got to,
Dude, Willie Colon, thank you so much, guys. Check out his foundation, get his book, and I got to tell you something.
Faith and Fertility, you can buy on Amazon. I'll give Paul the link, and please check it out.
Yeah, Faith and Fertility, and I can tell you, I met a lot of athletes, and I performed in front of a lot. You are by far one of the coolest dudes I've come across, and I'm glad to call you a friend now.
Oh, we definitely friends.
And we're gonna golf.
We're gonna do it.
And thank you so much, guys. This has been another episode from My Dates. Go to paulvirzi.com, guys. I got some theater shows coming up. Toronto on the 17th of October. November, I'm in Texas. I'm also doing the Algonquin Theater, and I'm doing Newtown, Connecticut. All my dates, paulvirzi.com. The specials, my Netflix special is now on my YouTube channel, so you could check that out. And go to my YouTube channel and click the subscribe button. Check out all of Willie's stuff, like he just mentioned, the book, the foundation. And I'll see you next time on Paul's Best Podcast. Take care.